Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the big show. We have such a tremendous show today. We got comedian Jay London. We got Mickey Jones from Justified. Are you excited, Sunda?
I am so excited because you always talk about Justified, and you're such a huge fan of Jay London's ever since he was on Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
Yes, and he's going to be with us today.
And it's good to see you standing. How you feeling?
Well, you know what? Today is not one of my great days.
Right.
But I make the best out of every day. That's
Right.
what I do.
You do. We didn't go to the emergency room last week.
But we'll be going there within the next 45 minutes.
We're going to go to the emergency room today, ladies and gentlemen. And tell us, what are your symptoms?
This is a man's world. See, it's a guy thing. You guys wouldn't understand, so it doesn't matter.
It's a guy thing we wouldn't understand. Okay.
You know, it's funny. Whenever I would have cramps, my husband would say, I have cramps. I was like, you don't have cramps. You just don't. You have different types
that's
of
true.
cramps.
He doesn't have cramps.
He
There's
thinks
no
he does.
way.
Anything I had, he had.
I mean, if you have a headache, he can have a headache. If you have a backache, he can have a backache. But you can't have cramps.
No, but he said he had cramps. He understands because he would have stomach cramps, and I was like, "There's different cramps." But when I was nursing, I beat him to it, though. I said, "No, I'm filled up. You're not."
There's no
Maybe
way
he was.
a
Who
man
knows?
can have the
but they want to.
of cramps. No, even me.
They can't have the equivalent of any woman's pain. That's unbelievable what women go through for pain. We have to get waxed. We have to get tweeds, Botox, and everything.
I've been waxed. On this very show, I've been waxed.
I know. I remember John videotaping that.
Yes, and I believe that video is still on his computer, and he uses it often. I don't know for what.
It was a beautiful moment. We actually made a Persian rug out of the wax, so it was just unbelievable.
And you can see that rug in Westwood at the Persian Culture Center.
That's right, that's right. And you know something, Nowruz is coming up.
Nowruz is coming up, ladies and
That's going to be
gentlemen.
the Persian New Year. We can't wait because we're going to be singing the first Nowruz. We'll think of something. We'll
come back with
We're
something.
in the holiday
We'll think
season.
of something after the show.
Right,
a lot of
after
shows
the
think of
show.
stuff before the show. We'll think of something after.
We'll think of something after. Why should we be different? That's what I'm saying. So,
Nowruz.
Nowruz.
You know what year it is?
Yeah, it's probably 1,277,000. I have no idea. I just know that I'm excited about so many things that are going on right now.
Yes.
You have a lot going on now that you're a doctor.
I am a doctor now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I am a doctor now.
And let me just say this.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, this guy has been getting more phone calls for dates than he ever has before. Just put the word, just put doctor in front of James Harris. Boom, 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 boom.
It's very true. You know, just telling people, being Jewish.
Jewish
doctor. And that that I know a lot about psychoanalysis and dream interpretation.
And the women are just melting. You've got to see
like,
this.
Let me tell you about this dream I had. And then I just start winging it, and I'm like, oh, really?
And he's lying to them.
That dream means you want to go back to my apartment. That's what your unconscious is saying.
This is all he's doing. He's just picking up girls left and right at the Laugh Factory.
Powerful.
And I'm looking at him.
And I'm a comedian.
And he's a comedian. And they're falling for it. They're like, oh my God, he's like, and he's Jewish. He's Jewish.
Crazy.
They're so happy, and you're finally happy to be meeting Jewish women. Finally, you're back in the game.
Finally back in the game. I'm finally excited to be meeting Jewish women.
I know. How does it feel? Do they complain?
I can't believe I ever strayed Jewish women. I owe you all an apology. I owe all the Jewish women out there an apology.
But you liked it for a minute. You strayed for a minute.
To go with the non-Jewish women.
How was it? What's the difference?
Between the Jewish women and the non-Jewish women?
Yeah.
It's very different. Very different.
Which one complains more? The Jews, right?
No,
okay.
They all complain. I would say that the Jewish women are a little bit more. They require more finesse. It's a bit more of a delicate endeavor. You know, you have to.
You've got a big date this weekend going on.
I do?
Yeah.
What's going on?
The professor from Berkeley is coming out to see you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes. Is that a Jew? Is she Jewish?
You know she's Jewish. Was born in Israel. Out of nowhere, he knows nothing. But let's see if you go through with that date.
I'm coughing.
You're coughing.
I'm coughing about this, ladies and gentlemen. Just talking about this is making me cough.
No, it's making you speak Hebrew.
Yes.
That's what it is.
An Israeli professor.
So that's
Very
good. So what will
exciting.
you guys be talking about? I would like to see James on a date.
Oh my God,
okay,
I'm
discussing
really
his
good on a
ailments, discussing what cold he had, discussing.
Whoa. That's like third date.
That's a third date.
I don't break that out till the third date. You know what I'm saying? I don't break out the cold and the because you know what? I don't think they're ready for that on the first date. They can't handle all that. You know what I mean? I don't want to give them too much. So
what
fast.
is your come on line? You're like, hey, shalom.
No, my come on line is usually, do you have a tissue or some hand sanitizer? You know, women find that very sexy. Oh my God, he asked me for a tissue. He already wants me to take care of him. They like that, you know?
You should have went with the nurse last week.
That's what I think I really need. I think that's
He has them
what I
lined
need
up.
in
It's
life, is a
nurses,
nurse.
doctors. But what do I need? A dentist. But does
Hooters,
he?
waitresses.
Does he meet a dentist for
No,
me?
I can't get a dentist.
No, you can't date a dentist. You can't date anybody that could do something for me.
A dentist would be able to do something for you. They'd be able to do something for me too. I could
What do
use
you
a
need?
dentist. I need dental work.
I could do that.
You could do my dental work.
Yeah, I could do your
yes.
dental work. We need other things.
I need nitrous. That's really what it is. I need nitrous. So
To
yeah.
what? To get through the date?
To get through life. To get through life, Sunda. All right? Life is hard, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It's very hard, it's challenging, and we can all use a little nitrous to just make it a little lighter.
You know something? You can also use a little bit of whipped cream to get that going, okay?
Yeah, that's true. You could use a little bit of whipped cream as well.
I didn't know what was going on with this whipped cream scam. I was like, what are these kids doing?
Oh, doing the whipped cream gas?
What are they doing? I'm going to buy that and put that on my food.
Well, if you know, you can.
They're snorting whipped cream gas.
Yeah, they are.
And that's not good.
You get like a high for about 5 seconds, and then you get just.
And you get boogers on your friggin' cupcakes.
You get boogers on your cupcakes, and the whipped cream then becomes very syrupy. I don't know if you're aware, it becomes very syrupy. You can't
It's
get.
disgusting.
It doesn't puff. It doesn't fluff.
I want fluffy, puffy, big, you know, big, bang, pow, wham.
Some people are willing to take the 30-second high for the syrupy whipped cream. It's a give and take.
It's a give and take.
You can't have
Well,
both.
you know something? I want you to start going out with dentists until I get my teeth fixed, and then when you want your nose fixed, you go date a plastic surgeon.
So how
And
long will it take to get your teeth fixed?
Well, I don't know. The camera guy just yawned, and he's showing us his teeth like a horse.
Wow, look at his teeth.
Look at his teeth.
Wow,
That's
he bets
something.
the ponies.
He bets
He
the
bets the-
ponies. This is our camera guy. You can't see him. We can see him.
We can see him.
We
yeah.
see you yawning. And you guys were talking about me earlier.
Maybe you need some nitrous.
Resting my eyes. All I was doing was resting my eyes.
But here's my game plan as far as dating goes. I just want to say I'm going to date a dentist for a year to get Sunda's teeth fixed. Then I'm going to date a plastic surgeon for a year to get my nose fixed.
Oh.
Then I think from then on in, I just need a general practitioner, an internist.
And then we're set.
Yeah.
And you'll be set.
And you'll be set. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have a tremendous show. It's unbelievable. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now joining us on the program, we have musician, actor, author, a truly multi-talented man. You could also see him on FX's hit show Justified, Mickey Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Jones.
Mickey!
I'm honored to be here.
Good to see you. How you
We
feeling?
are honored to have you here.
I'm tickled. Sue walked up to me and she said, "I'm so honored to meet you." I went, "Why?" She said, "We love Justified."
Yeah, she's a huge fan of
Well,
Justified.
it's a great
and so
show.
is
It's a
he.
hot show, and I love my character. I play a guy named Rodney Hot Rod Dunham, and I'm the big drug kingpin from Memphis. Now, I'm a bad man. I can put a bullet in your eye as quick as look at you, which I tell people, it's so much fun to do that on TV, because, you know, I don't get to do that in real life very seldom.
Very seldom.
Right,
So you,
seldom.
You'd like to be able to do it more often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Television allows you
So
to
the
do
show
these
is
kinds
an
of
outlet.
things.
Exactly. No,
It's an
this
outlet
is
for you.
definitely an outlet for that. It is.
Yes.
I'm tickled to be on that show. I love everybody. They make me feel so special when I show up. They said, "Mr. Jones, here's your chair." I said, "Mr. Jones, he's my dad. I'm Mickey." But they take such good care of me, and that's pretty nice. As you guys have done here, I've been taken care of.
I'm so
have.
glad. Did we
Thank
brush the beard for you?
No, you didn't brush
I'm
my
going to
beard.
cornrow it after the show.
No. You know,
Well,
we
listen.
may have something here. Let me think about that.
If you get the urge to kill somebody while you're here, just let us know. We might be able to work that out.
Okay, you let me know. Yeah, there's somebody here.
There's somebody here.
They could go today.
How long have you been acting?
You know, I got my first job in 1978. It was an episode of The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, wow.
I had had a couple little jobs, one line here and there, but that was an episode of The Incredible Hulk, and I was all excited. I got the job. They sent me the script, and I went through the script, and I realized I had 52 pages of dialogue in a 56-page script. And
Wow.
And
So it's a
let me
big role.
tell you, I was scared to death.
I can imagine.
And I
I'm scared
showed
with
up
one
on the
line.
set the first day, and I told the director, he was a new director. He was Bill Bixby's stunt double, but I showed up on the set, and we chatted for a few minutes, and I said, Frank Orsatti, dear man, has passed on, but I tell people he's the reason I have a career.
Right.
And I said, Frank, if I do something that's unacceptable, or if I do something and it's not quite where you think it should be, please let me do it again. I don't want to settle, and I know you don't want to settle for anything substandard. He said, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take good care of you, and I know you're going to take good care of me. And he called me after the third day of shooting, and he said, I got a call from the tower at Universal, and they're not sure, they don't know who you are, and they're questioning my ability to direct and all this stuff. And I said, oh gosh, I'm going to lose my job. And about the 5th day, we shot 10 days, about the 5th day, he said, I got a call from the tower last night. And I went, oh no. He said, they think I'm a genius. They're looking at the dailies and they've never been happier. So we knew we were on to something.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that was the start of my career, 1978.
And he was a great guy, Bill Bixby.
Great guy.
Right?
Yeah, I'll tell you something he did for me that no other actor on any TV series ever did. First day on the set, he came over to my dressing room, knocked on my door, and I thought it was wardrobe, and I said, yeah, come on in. And the door opened, it was Bill Bixby. He said, hi, Mickey, I'm Bill Bixby. And I went, I know, you're Eddie's father.
Right.
And he said, I'm David Banner now, but I just want you to know that you're now part of our family. That Vogue motorhome over there is my dressing room. The door's always open. You don't even have to knock. Just want to visit? Come on in. I've never had another actor do that to me on any show. And he was a very special man. I loved him dearly, and he pretty much held my hand through that whole episode. And he was real proud of me, and boy, I was so proud to do that
I had a
show.
crush on him.
And I got to do an episode of The Incredible Hulk every season till it ended after that. You can't come back the same season because they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, that's not Bill so-and-so, that's Ricky who was in. So you had to wait till the next season. But they brought me back every season. And then the producer and creator of that show, Ken Johnson, brought me in on a miniseries, which is still the highest rated miniseries in history, called V.
V, sure,
where I played a guy who was killing lizards every day. And
Did you get any purses out of it?
you know, we used to say, boy, this would make some good luggage here.
Yeah, shoes.
Shoes. I was just going to say, so you never know when you're going to do a job that it may lead to something else. So you want to be on your best. You want to know your material. Don't be late. And when they come and that camera rolls, be ready to go. Know your stuff.
I wanted to know how Alf treated you.
Oh, man, he's one of my best friends. Yeah, his name is Richard Karn. And we became best buddies. When we first got on Home Improvement in 1992, Richard was managing an apartment building in Hollywood. And we'd go over to the apartment building and have our Friday night poker game at his apartment building. Now he lives in a mansion up on Fryman Canyon. But he's one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet, ever in your life. He's a true gentleman.
All right, well, we got to take a break, all right? But we're gonna be right back with Mickey Jones. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are here with Mickey Jones.
Mickey has so many stories. I gotta tell you, the last few minutes have just been phenomenal. We've gone from the Hulk all the way down to this earring I want to know about.
It's funny. People say, yeah, you got an earring. Well, the reason I got it, my 8-year-old granddaughter, who's now 33, she said she had just gotten her ears pierced. She said, Grandpa, you need an earring. And I went, nah, I don't think I want an earring. She said, no. I said, no, it's going to hurt. So I said, and I don't even like to get a shot, let alone an earring. So she took me down to the guy that did pierce her ears, and he put a little mark on there, and he had this little gun, and he went, pow! I went, son of a God! And it killed me. It just about killed me. And then I learned the history of an earring. If you're what they call a mariner, a sailor,
right.
There are 3 ways to earn your earring. You got to earn it. They're not free. You have to cross the equator in a sailing ship. That's one way. You have to dive over 100 feet deep, and you have to circumnavigate the globe. And I've done all 3 of those.
Really?
I've crossed the equator in a sailing ship. I've circumnavigated the globe, and I have.
You've worked for this earring.
I earned my earring.
You have earned it.
Even though I didn't want it in the beginning, but
Now, how do you take it out? Screws
I
off?
don't ever take it out. I play so many bikers and killers and everything. I thought, well, maybe it'll help me with those roles, and it has. I'm sure it has.
Does it ever come to like playing a killer? Have you ever had dreams about like really killing someone?
The only dreams I've had about it are, God, I hope I know all these lines. You know,
Right.
I go to bed, and my wife, I will wake her up sometimes at 3:30 in the morning. I'm not awake, but I'm doing my dialogue in my
In your
sleep.
sleep.
And it wakes her up. So
Well, I need to know how to do things in my sleep.
Learning
that's why-
lines is tough.
That's why I was explaining to one of the gals here today who wants to be an actress. I said, you got to know your work. You got to come in prepared. And because if you don't, and they have to stop a camera roll because you don't know your work, you may not work for them again.
We might be fired.
Well, let's talk about the movie
No,
because
you guys know your work.
before you were an actor, you were the original drummer for Bob Dylan.
That's right.
You toured with Bob Dylan. You made a documentary about the 1966 tour,
Right.
Which
that
was a unique
the
tour.
First electric world tour where we got booed off the stage everywhere we went because here was Bob Dylan, this iconic folk singer, and now he's decided to come out in the second half of the concert and play some electric rock and roll. And they hated our guts. And,
Wow.
and literally, when we started this tour, we were called the Hawks. And about 4 to 6 weeks into the tour, all the media ever said the next day was how the first half of the concert was brilliant. But when Bob Dylan came out with the band, it was horrible. The band was too loud. Bob Dylan should send the band back to America. The band sucks.
Wow.
So we took the name, The Band. And so I was the original drummer with The Band.
Oh my God,
That
that's
was
so
Robbie
funny.
Robertson,
Right.
Garth Hudson, Rick Danko, myself, and Robbie Robertson, Garth Hudson.
Know your lines.
Yeah, really. Rick Danko, and Garth Hudson, and myself. And then when I left the group, Lee Von Helm took my place.
And how long did you tour with Bob Dylan, and how long
I
did you
was
tour
with
with the
Bob
band?
for 2 years.
2 years. And the band?
And he broke his neck in a motorcycle accident. And then we were actually on our way to New York to do a concert at Shea Stadium. And then the next day we were going to Moscow. And we'd have been the first American rock and rollers in Moscow. And then a week before the concert at Shea Stadium, Bob crashed his motorcycle up at Woodstock, broke his neck, was in the hospital, didn't work for a year. So we canceled everything. But before Bob, I was 8 years with a guy named Trini Lopez. And then 3 years with Johnny Rivers. I played on Secret Agent Man, all that stuff. And then Bob for 2 years. And then an older, overweight, white-haired guy, Kenny Rogers.
Rogers, Kenny
That's
Rogers,
it.
sure.
For 10 years, we had a group called the First Edition. And about a year before we broke the group up, we broke the group up because I was going to leave the group because I wanted to try and be an actor. And I had been telling Kenny for about a year, you ought to go into country and do country. And he has a career really because of me.
Oh, really?
And I
Yeah?
asked him what
Yeah.
my commission was on it one day, and all he did was laugh.
Laugh. How could he? Now, he's had a lot of plastic surgery. I don't
Oh
mean to.
my God. I asked him one day, just between us, we're not.
Right.
I asked him, I said, what were you thinking?
What was he thinking?
He said, well, you know, if you got the money, I tell the public, if you got the money and you want to do it, you should do it. I wish I hadn't done it.
I'm
Because he
sure.
had a great look, a rugged look about
right.
it.
Yeah.
But now he's stretched so tight, he looks like a drumhead, you know. And I mean, we're still dear friends, but I think the plastic surgery was a mistake.
And he was-
does too.
Yeah.
He does,
If you-
yeah.
And
if
he
you
was
talk to
always
him.
a nice guy. I worked at a law firm where he was being sued. Someone got hurt in a concert, and he just wanted to settle. He didn't want any problems, and he was just wonderful on the phone. I couldn't believe it was Kenny. I was just like,
Very nice gentleman.
Yes.
He really is a great guy.
but somebody gave him bad advice on that plastic surgery because
Yeah,
he
that
doesn't
was-
look
that
like
was-
himself.
that was actually
and
not
Mickey
a good
Rourke
move.
too. Mickey Rourke is another one.
Yeah, he doesn't even look like Mickey Rourke.
No, now you look like you.
I
You look
I still
like
look like
Mickey
me.
Jones.
I'm always
Yeah.
gonna look
That's
like
Mickey
me.
Jones. When you walk in the room, you're like, yo, that is Mickey, and
You
it's
got that?
justified. You got that? That is Mickey Jones. Don't make no bones bones about it. That's right.
And we don't have a whole lot
like
of time,
this
so
girl.
just, Mickey, tell us about the book.
Well, I wrote this book. It's been out about a year, and it's about my 23 years of being on an airplane 7 days a week, 10 months out of the year. I went around the world about 40 times.
Wow.
Circumnavigated the globe.
Yeah, exactly. With all these people. And on the back, you'll see there's my gold record wall. I've got 17 gold and platinum albums and pictures there with me. This little group down in the bottom corner called the Beatles, they were our opening act.
Really?
At the
They opened
Olympia
for
Theater
you.
in
Which
Paris.
band were you in when they opened for you?
Trinity Lopez.
Trinity Lopez.
Yeah. And everybody says, oh man, you know the Beatles. Yeah, we worked together for 2 months. And I saw them a lot of times after that. But I said, well, I got a better story. They said, okay, what? In 1961, that was my first trip to England. Didn't know what to expect. Here I am, I'm 20 years old. And I get on the plane and we go to London. They pick us, it was a packaged show. Brooke Benton, Timmy Euro, Leslie Gore, Dion, and Trini. And they pick us up with 2 Rolls Royces. They take us to Vic Lewis's office, the promoter of the tour. He says, guys, we have a little bit of a problem. The American acts are coming over and taking jobs away from the British groups. So now the government is requiring us to have at least one British group on the show to like
Really?
open the show. So we hired a little group called the Rolling Stones to open our show. And when I saw them, I said, yeah, they're okay. There's nothing to write home about. They can play a little blues. And I still feel that way. I think they've overstayed their welcome. Time to go, boys.
By about 40
He's not
years.
going
they've
The best
overstayed
rock
the-
and roll band in the world is a little group, little 3 guys out of Texas called ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, you know
Is
them
the
all.
beard an
Absolutely.
homage to them?
Sorry?
Is the beard an homage to them?
You know, I went to see them not long ago, and I walked in, and Dusty Hill, the bass player, whose beard's down to here, he walked over and he said, what is this? Are you that big a fan? I said, no, brother, this keeps me working.
That's right.
But they're great guys, and they're the best rock and roll band in the world.
ZZ Top. Are they in the book?
I think I do talk about them in the book.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I should have
hopefully.
put some pictures in.
Hopefully
There's
you'll
a
be
lot-
talking
You have
about
had-
us
yeah.
in the
It's
next
a perfect book for James because there are a lot of pictures in there.
There are a lot of
He
pictures
likes
in there. Well,
pictures.
thank
You
you.
can read the words to him. He can look at the pictures.
Look at the pictures. Yeah,
Oh, how
thank you.
wonderful.
Well, listen, Mickey, you have just a tremendous story, and you can see him on Justified. Really appreciate you stopping by and spending some time
honored
with
to
us.
be here, and we really didn't get started, so
We gotta do it again then.
We have to do it
Do it
again.
again
sounds like a
soon.
plan to me, man.
There you go.
All right, the multi-talented Mickey Jones, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, now joining us on the program, we have a comedian who was featured on Last Comic Standing. He also is a world-renowned bedbug whisperer and a life coach who has let himself go. Jay London, ladies and gentlemen. Jay
thank
London.
Thank you.
Jay
Yes.
London, you have not let yourself go. You have just bloomed ever since Last Comic Standing.
Yes, the only way I blew up these days is through weight.
Is that
Weight.
Really?
I blew up overnight. Gained 40 pounds. But that's another story.
How did you do that? You were always skinny.
No, I'm just trying to be funny. It's about funny, isn't it, or what? Please, ask me another question.
Now, this is a medical drama, this show. So
could
it's-
I've got to
you know,
tell
we
you,
don't-
one of the best things was to have Jay London come up to me and say, I watched the show, I love the show. And it was so nice for you to say that,
Yeah,
where
you
most
did.
comedians back east are just dreadful. I don't know what's going on with them, but they're not happy people.
Are they hiding their Judaism, or are they hiding something?
A lot of them are hiding their Judaism.
I got
You've
nothing
never
to
been
hide.
ashamed.
I got nothing. I'm acting like De Niro here. I got nothing to hide.
Did you change your name for show business?
I think my father changed my
He
name.
changed your name.
He hit our name.
Do you know what it was?
Lineages, I
You know
think,
what it
from
was?
Odessa, Russia. My father was brought up as an orphan child, and then came to New York. I think the last name was Lembersky.
Lembersky.
Is that Jewish enough?
That's
Lembersky.
too Jewish. We gotta go. Let's just wait.
Please.
It's too Jewish for Jewish
Too
Life
Jewish.
TV.
Too Jewish.
Yes.
But I always carry the moniker or the title, logo of a grandparent. I grew up with my grandparents in the Bronx, and that's where I got my Judaism and my Friday night, and my grandmother always telling me to write.
That's where you got
After the Sabbath, she would light candles and write.
And that's where you got your funny from, right? The
Well, I
Judaism.
was kept under strict rabbinical supervision for a few years.
What's that like?
It's a Jewish reform school.
I see.
Were you really?
No, please, let's move on.
Every time he makes a joke, you're gonna say,
No, I'm
really?
just joking. No, no. I was a what you call a. I'll use a Yiddish word, a Wildechaya.
You were a
You would know.
Wildechaya?
I was a Wildechaya.
No.
A Trumbenik and a
Tell us
Wildechaya.
about some of your Wildechaya adventures.
Experiences.
Wrong place, wrong time. Growing up, I get sad. The cameras are over here. I'm pointing down. Not professional. I got my, being accused of things that I, never did and that kind of thing.
What
Wrong
was
place,
the-
wrong time. Son of Sam. I got picked up.
You got picked up for that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is true, right?
This is true.
I
You
heard
still
that.
maintain your
in
innocence?
Flushing, Queens. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He lived in Yonkers, though.
Yeah, but for some reason, I wrote poetry to this young lady that I thought I can ensnare through poetry, and then she called the cops.
And what was that like? I mean, they
They
interrogated you?
interrogated me for about 12 minutes, and the big hulking detective went, "Take a walk,"
Just like that.
because he knew it wasn't me. And that was it. So I got picked up for that. Other things.
Would you ever think of playing the Son of Sam?
I think I could do a hellified job. I'm not as good as John Leguizamo, but if I probe and have a chance to study his being, I could.
That's amazing.
Recalling the days, not to go back so many years.
Yes,
Because we
yes.
don't go back that many years. We were all so young. I recall you driving a taxi and going on stage and having a taxi wait outside. My husband used to think it was crazy.
I had the chutzpah and the nerve, which was nerve because, at peak hours, you're supposed to be driving down 2nd Avenue. Comic strip
That's
was on
right.
82nd. And I had a fare, a very enterprising fare that wanted to go to Kennedy. And I said, well, how much time do you have? And it was just time enough to do a set. And I double parked the car right on 2nd Avenue. He came in and I got like a $20 tip plus the fare. So I've had great times driving a cab and all the experiences of driving a cab.
Do you go back to New York often?
I wish I could, not as much as I want to, but I will be back again. My family's there, whatever's
Right.
left. I don't want to make this a depressing story.
Don't worry about it. We're
don't-
comics. We're very
we've
depressed.
had breakdowns on the show.
We've had
Well, I'm not going to have a
breakdowns.
nervous break. Family is everything.
Please break down.
My father would take me to the playground and put me on mood swings as a kid. And one Christmas, my father bought me a train set with a third rail. And you could say Christmas because we used to celebrate an interfaith type family.
Is this worth $1 million, this book? What's this book?
This book is just notes, and it makes me look a little more important than I am.
But you're important. People recognize you from Last
I'm
Comic Standing,
recognized.
right?
It is so surreal to go down the street and still be. Oh, didn't I see it? And that, it's amazing how powerful that little tube is.
Wow, and to think I turned that one down too.
You did.
You did,
That
yeah.
little tube.
No,
Yes, I
last,
did.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
The show.
Yeah, I didn't want to do
Well,
that.
you look great. I don't know. I got to a point now that I colorize my baby pictures. That's how old I'm getting. And you look great. And you look great,
Oh,
James. Nothing
thank
has
you.
changed.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing.
No,
It's all
You
jokes
too.
are the
You look
same.
great.
Like I said, it's godly. It's got to be godly.
It's
or
a
something.
gift.
It's a gift from somewhere, and I'm going to take it and use the fruits of my labor until they use pesticides. Do I make sense to the Jewish living
Yes,
crowd?
I think the Jews at home
Jewish
are
living would like
absolutely
this
making
show.
sense.
I hope they do.
Yeah, but we're
I
on
re-
Jewish Life. You
Jewish
know
Life.
that,
This is
did
Jewish
you?
Well, living in
But I
life, it's
remember
past tense.
you
it's
told
the
us
same
you saw the show on the Jewish station.
you told
I
us.
came
saw
over-
Jackie Mason. I saw Broadway, Jewish Broadway, and the old acts of the 30s and 40s,
Sure.
the Al Kellys and the early Jackie Masons and Shecky Greens and whoever else was in that area.
What did you think when you saw Turn on TV and you saw me and James still hanging out from the comic strip?
I went, oi, how did they pull this off?
That's what we ask ourselves
How did
every
they
day.
pull this off?
Because remember, we used to be very opposite. I mean, we're still opposite. And Stacy, his sister, used to run Stand Up New York. And she was a fan also. My husband's always been a fan of yours.
I like him. He reminds me of my ex, could have been my father-in-law, your husband. He has that feisty, strong-willed way.
Yeah, he does.
I don't want you to reminisce, but it's good to be here.
We could reminisce.
We could reminisce. This is what
why we're
happened.
here.
The last time we had someone reminisce, he said, Sunda, I remember when we bombed in Montreal. And I didn't bomb. I didn't know what he was talking about, but he had a breakdown
He had a
here.
breakdown right on the
So,
show,
right
and
on
we,
the
we were
show.
there for him.
We were there
comforted
for
him.
him.
Really?
And we held
with
him.
tears? Or
Almost
didn't
there. He
cry
was there.
on camera.
was
but
Restasis involved in any way? You know Restasis?
No, it's just
It's for tears. To
Oh, Restasis, of course you could know.
See,
It's like
tears.
crying.
It's like crying.
Yes.
Sure. Of course, restasis. It's a Yiddish word.
It's a Yiddish word.
Yes.
It's a
You know
pleasure
he
to be here.
speaks fluent Yiddish.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
That's a wonderful thing because
It
I
is.
think all the Hebrew dailies or wherever the papers that used to be filtered throughout the Bronx is a bygone.
It's bygone, yeah. There were a lot of Yiddish papers now. I think there's one. But we got to take a break.
Please, let's do that.
We're going to take a break, and we are going to be... We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back.
I hope I'm not...
With the always entertaining
I want a breakdown.
Jay London. We'll be right back.
Start doing comedy? Where was the first place you went up?
Well, it was actually a place called Jimmy's Comedy Alley in Bayside, Queens in 1986. And through the auspices of Rob Bartlett, who used to do all the voices of Imus in the morning, it was called Comedy Hell. I don't know if I could say hell.
You can say hell.
It was a theme. And that's where I got my chops, and I did Showtime at the Apollo. I hold a record for being booed off in record time.
Really?
I hold some records, yeah.
Tell us some.
Well, I told an audience that night that I live in a black neighborhood. Guys call me homeboy. That's because I'm afraid to leave my house.
That was your opening line at the Apollo.
They booed me up in 2.3 seconds. I hold the record. Wow. I was with Vanessa.
Well, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. It's one of my greater records.
That great achievement.
Yeah, it was. Yes,
you know?
And I had to leave the place like I was under indictment. I mean, I ran out of there. It was kind of hard. That was an early start.
What was your next big success?
Yeah, what was next?
Let's see. Then I did Spotlight Cafe with God rest his soul, Rich Jenny, and started to work with Joe Rogan here and there. And then I just kept applying myself, and then I had this fantastic inner feeling to say, you know what, it's time to go west. My voice. I lost a beautiful woman in between the transition, but I'm here. No, lost her through a bi-coastal. No, she didn't die. She died in my mind.
Oh,
but through we had a bi-coastal relationship for a year, and then she went Zygazint. Zygazint. It's over. Take a walk. Goodbye.
From the moment you went on in '86, were you always doing? Did you already have your style, that very unique act that you do?
No.
It was
one
different?
time on that New Year's, they let me work New Year's, and for some reason it wasn't going over, so they had a piano with the wing open, and I was willing to give $100 so they could put my head in, and they would crush it like a cashew, and that's how I started to do self-deprecating humor from that moment. New Year's.
And then you started developing the kind of rhythm that you have in the cadence and the walking back.
Let me move over here. Well, that came, I don't know, later.
That came later?
It's like a nervous hilaria type of act.
Yes.
But I'm not a hilaria. I look at that camera to say that. No, I'm not a hilaria.
He's not a hilaria. But it evolved. It evolved. But that was when it first hit you on the piano night.
Yeah, and and then I just grew, and then the jacket happened one time. I was working a club, and for some reason the zipper broke. And I asked this young lady for her lavalier, and from that day on, I always carried a jacket.
Right.
And that's my whole kit and caboodle.
And do you remember the first time you walked over here and said, "Let me walk over here"?
Let me move over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I take myself, and I had a fellow under the breath went, "I paid for this. Look at this guy. I paid for this," and then I said, "Let me move over." Then I just started.
And it worked. Yeah, it's a great line.
Explain to them. They don't know.
In his act, if you do a joke that maybe doesn't get a huge laugh or something, you say that. You say, "Right, let me move over here."
Let me move over here. Is Dr. Kevorkian in the room?
Yeah. You got great lines in case, like if the material doesn't hit.
Give us some of those lines.
You'll never see me again. Thank you. When am I 0 for 20? Very sad.
Right. You say thank you a lot.
Could you help me? I'm out of character.
Right.
Could you help me? I'm out of character.
Would you please laugh?
Please laugh. They say laughter is the best medicine. You seem to be having a bad reaction. That kind of humor.
Yeah, it's a great act. No, it's a great act.
I feel for some reason, as Lucian once said, that I do shtick. Lucian from the comic strip.
Sure.
And he once said that I hold a little bit of a flame to the old stylings of shtick. So if I can keep that alive, I'm very thrilled and happy to keep the Henny Youngmans and the Al Kellys and the Jackie Vernons and all those great Leonard Barr from that period.
You know all these people.
I didn't know them. I just watched them as a kid.
I didn't know any of these
Even Ed Sullivan, my grandmother, turning on a Sunday night. And I guess that's when my foundation started.
And now look at you. Now you're a beachcomber. You're swimming.
I just say beaten down.
Beachcomber.
Yes, I love the beach. In fact, my nickname is Coastal Eddie. They call me Coastal Eddie at the beach. You know what an eddy is? A coastal eddy?
Like an eddy in the
a
beach,
wind.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that
now
didn't go over,
are you going?
Maybe you should sit over there.
Maybe I should sit there.
Should I move? Thank you.
Yes.
My husband does the best impression.
Really?
Yes.
Now, what about the hair? Was the hair always there in '86, or did that evolve
you
as well?
ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get low down.
Get low down,
Get a
man.
little,
Yeah.
a little black, I guess. A little.
We're all a little
whatever.
black on the show.
One time I used to live at the Kenmore Hotel, and Janet Reno at the time became the Attorney General, and one of her first listings was to get rid of this hotel because of the rash of badness, that suicides, methadone overdoses and all. And I went to help out an elderly lady who was being groped inside of this hotel, and from this fellow sought retaliation afterwards and caught me with a 2x4. I got like 39 stitches for going out of my way.
Get out of here!
My point is, I didn't want any bit me in my. I got a nice bite mark here. I don't know if it's too graphic, but I got involved, and the point is, it was between shaving my head, whatever, or they were more interested in giving us a tetanus shot. My point I'm bringing out is that I didn't want to cut my hair, and then I cut my hair, and then I went, you know what, this is really me. It's kind of street-like and all. I don't know if I'm correlating any kind of story here.
Well, one thing.
But these people look like they're frozen in time.
Well, one thing you're telling us is you're a hero. I mean, you are.
I've done a lot. As my father used to say, talk is cheap. The cart before the horse. But I've done some things in driving a cab in New York that would knock you around.
Like heroic things, helping people.
Down on Essex Street by Katz's, a guy robbing a cab, and he had a gun, and then cops came and they thought I was robbing the cab. And just wrong, and I said at the beginning, wrong place, wrong time. But these were heroic stories.
Yeah.
And I go out of my way just to try to help people. I don't know, just instinctive, and it's adrenaline, which starts with an A. Adrenaline. It's good to see you.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Well, I certainly hope that we see you again, Jay. Where are you performing next?
Well, I do a lot of, I work sometimes Skid Row for the Lamp community. Mr. Masada at the Laugh Factory is very nice to me. So my next big to-do is, I want to move back to my parents' house because I'm not making money with comedy, but they told me I wasn't right for the room.
All right.
They told me I wasn't right for the room. I should be playing, hopefully, the Laugh Factory this week.
All right.
That'll be good. Well, God willing, we'll see you.
It's a pleasure, and I
Jay,
hope you...
thank you for coming out.
Jay London,
Jay
ladies and gentlemen. Fascinating man, hero and hilarious. Heroic and hilarious.
Last comic sitting.
Last comic sitting. Jay London, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. Sunda, I think after a show like that, it was so impressive, this show. I think I'm this close to our goal of me dating a dentist.
Listen, I think I'm this close to coming back to next season. Okay, that's what I'm
What do
talking
you
about
mean?
already.
What does that mean?
No, I just think that this is a great show, and we do read your emails, by the way. We read your fan mails, we read your emails. Yes, James is single. No, I am not single. Yes, I do have kids. Yes, I am planning a bat mitzvah. I do work for Chabad. I'll do anything right now. I've got to pay for this bat mitzvah. That's all I care about right now.
The bat mitzvah is it a stressor?
It's a stressor. It is a stressor. It's made, I've made new enemies. It's okay with me. I like enemies.
Well, that's when it happens. We've talked about this on the show. That's when enemies form in amongst the Jewish people during weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs. That's when people start getting crazy.
But I want you to get
so
crazy.
I want to know what table I'm sitting at.
Listen, I've already got 2 families. Don't send me at this table. I'm not inviting either one, by the way.
Who am I sitting with, though?
You're going to speak.
About what?
You can tell jokes.
No, I want to talk about the bat mitzvah girl. I want to say something about her. I won't embarrass her.
Don't do that. She's watching right now.
Can I practice right now what I'm going to say?
No.
I want to practice right now. She's not going to. She won't mind.
She will mind. You know
think
she
so?
will mind. She doesn't like your jokes.
She does like my like mother, like daughter.
You see that? Okay. My daughter is
Seriously,
going
what
to.
table am I sitting at?
I'm not. Aviva, James.
Am I going to get a candle? Aviva, am I going to get a candle?
Yes, you're going to get a candle. Do you know where the candle's going to be given to you?
I don't know. I just want to know I'm going to get a candle. That's all.
Just don't drop the soap. Here's what I'm saying, guys, okay? That I'm planning this. We're getting, oh my God, I got to get a new tooth. We're doing this.
My girlfriend will get you one.
Your girlfriend should get me one.
The future girlfriend.
Yes. I mean, the future one. Is she coming this Saturday? The dentist is coming. Okay. Here's what we're talking about. Right now, we're arguing about one thing. Save the date. I can't get my daughter to sit down and make a save the date. She just makes so many of them. But the date's here. And nothing's done. I have nothing done. I do have a DJ. Why? I'm black. I got to get the music first.
Yeah, I'm
going to have the best bat mitzvah. Let me tell you something. It's going to be a great party. You know why? It's not about the party. It's about It's just about
Let me ask you
the tradition.
Because like I'm looking for like new avenues for my career, right? So like, could I be the DJ?
No, you're not going to be the DJ.
I can spin.
Listen, we're gonna have so much fun. We have all her friends from Debbie Allen are gonna be there because there's so many. The bullies in her school, you have to hear them. I hear
Are
them.
the bullies coming?
Oh my God, the bullies better not come. They're not invited.
They're not invited.
I'm kidding. You're all invited, bullies, because I can't wait. I got bigger bullies than you.
Yeah.
I got one bully that says to me, what did she say? She goes, where do you live? We live in Pacific Palisades. And I'm thinking Palisades Park, New Jersey. You know what I mean? So I was
Right.
like, wow, you're from Jersey. That's how stupid I was. But we got them coming in from the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, and I can't wait because they are real friends, and that's a real community, and
Now,
I'm so happy about that.
You've been going to this is the year of the bat mitzvah for your daughter, and she goes to one every weekend.
Every weekend.
There's bat mitzvahs, and there was one in Pacific Palisades, right?
But listen, you ready? Pacific
And
Palisades,
it
37
sounded-
degrees outside. They won't allow the kids into the house. They won't allow them into the house, these idiots.
12-year-old, 13-year-old kids have to
Freezing.
be outside. And I heard
outside.
One heat lamp.
One heater.
One heat lamp.
One heat lamp.
It was like the caveman times. They're all around
my
this one
God.
fire, all these children.
And they're all bragging about it. Did you see their home? Did you see their home? Who cares?
But nobody's at the
How
home,
about
they're
a
outside.
campfire? How about a campfire? That's what I'm saying. I think that when my kid goes to school, I feel sorry for all of you. All the money in the world can't make you happy. You're the most miserable bunch of people I ever saw in my life.
in her life.
Keep giving money away. Who cares? Money cannot buy you health. That's what I want to tell you. You know what? It's not going to get rid of that eyebrow.
Okay.
Here's what I'm saying to you. Did
how
I say
fired up
anything
she
like
is?
that?
This is
I
great.
get fired up. That's what
Let
you
it
like
go.
from me.
There's
Want
only
me to
two
go?
things that fire her up like this, right? What we're talking about now, the bat mitzvahs, and you know who.
That's right, them.
No, Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce,
That's all
my
I'm saying.
God.
I didn't mean to go there.
Beyonce comes out with an album overnight. It's unbelievable.
Overnight, she
I would
makes an
take
album.
Beyonce over the mothers in my school any day. Not all the mothers, because there's some of you know I like very much, but there's some of you, if you say to me one more time in your Ferrari, do you have free ticket for Laugh Factory? I'm going to blow my
In that
own brains out.
Ferrari.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it.
What about the technically are you invited?
Oh, my God.
Technically.
Oh, my God.
Sunda goes to these bat mitzvahs to pick up her kid, and the mothers that are there's a lot of mothers there. She's not being invited to these bat mitzvahs.
Not that
but
I
other
even
mothers
care.
are. And not that she cares. She doesn't care.
Because I don't
But,
wanna
you know, it's
go.
weird to
I
show
don't
up
like
and
you.
see all the mothers there, and Sunda wasn't invited. Now, she's very likable, so this doesn't make any sense. And
Very
she's so nice.
likable.
And that whole
Nice.
tirade she just went on about the eyebrow when she's ready to get them all. She didn't mean that, and they don't sense that from her. They
I
like
do.
this very sweet woman, and it's probably an oversight that they didn't invite her. But when she walks in, they look at her and they get all fired up.
They
and
fired up and they ask me, technically, were you invited?
She's coming when there's 5 minutes left to pick up her kid. Technically, are
Like
you
I want to
invited?
be with you people.
Like she thought the bat mitzvah started at midnight. Why couldn't you? Technically, are you picking up your kid? It's such a stupid
I
question.
never heard of anything
They
like
are
this in my
stupid.
life.
They're
They're
not the
stupid.
smartest
They
people.
are the
That is
stupid.
true. They are stupid.
They are stupid.
A lot of them are stupid. Not all of them. And but as
Most
Sunda would
of you
say,
are.
But as Sunda would say, but we love these people.
But I
love these
do. I
people.
do. A lot of
She
them are
loves
my
them.
friends, but a lot of you,
Yeah.
I couldn't care less. I wouldn't give you ice in the wintertime. I don't care if you talk about me from
Yeah.
today or tomorrow. I don't care when my kid goes in the elevator if you don't speak to them, all right? That's what you like to do.
Yeah, and if you want to freeze them out at the next bat mitzvah, that's fine.
Do me a favor. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. Not only do you not invite me, don't invite my kid. And if you're going to invite my kid and you're going to have a home in the Pacific Palisades, can you please provide a parka when it's 37 degrees outside? You're bragging you're
Or-
at the beach?
Or in their case,
Schmucks.
a burqa.
A burqa.
A burqa. That
A
would be that would
burqa,
have been
parka,
nice.
burqa. That's funny. I don't even know where I live anymore.
I don't know where you live either.
But
ladies and
anyway,
gentlemen.
guys.
we gotta go.
Back in Jersey, you know something? You
Good
know
to
what
see
it is.
Sunda back, right?
I'm glad to be black, better than I ever was.
You got you fired up.
You got me fired up. And mothers, you don't like what I say, and you write to me on Facebook. You say you don't like what I say on Jewish Life Television. Guess what? I'm sorry.
So sorry.
Thank you, God. Thank you so much.
Technically, she's just joking.
I'm joking.
Technically, she's
Technically.
joking. Technically.
Goodbye.
All right, technically, we gotta go. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Peace out.